Hello, everyone. Americans, happy Thanksgiving. If you're wondering if I look a little bit different, yes, I do. I just wanted to let you know, I thought going to the dentist today might have been a good idea. I'm a little frozen. So if you notice, half of my mouth is not moving. I am frozen solid. I have a great dentist, but the filling is... the freezing has totally frozen me up. So I hope this isn't going to distract you from today. Hey, I tried to, sort of like having Botox. I've actually even got a puffy lip. I probably should have said to Shelly, hey, Shelly, when you're doing this side of my mouth, can you do this side too? Because then both sides of my lips would have been plumped up. So this is not a story about being botched. This is a story about the show must go on, because I always do cooking classes on Thursday. So here we go, guys. So glad you're here. Hey, post below where you're popping in from. If you see anything, hey, Lisa, if you see anything you like, or if you have any questions, know that you can just message me. Okay, I can help you out. If you've got product, Epicure product in your pantry, you're not using it, why waste your money? Reach out to the consultant or reach out to me. I'm sure I can give you tons of ideas. There's lots on the website as well. I do want to let you know, when you see things today, I'm going to encourage you to get off your keister and go purchase it. Why? Because right now we've got discounted shipping. And so I want you to think about how you might want to look at Epicure as gift-giving ideas, because you could food's good for everyone, by the way. But you could literally ship a package of Epicure to someone across the country and get it at discounted prices for shipping, right? Okay, so I know you're here for a cooking class. What are we cooking today? Well, I'm gonna be using cranberries. Yes, this is gonna be awesome. And so I'm gonna be making this meal. It's a balsamic cranberry chicken. So we're gonna get started. I'm gonna give you some fun food facts. The first thing we're gonna start out with is we've gotta get our stove heated up a little bit here. So, and we're gonna put a little bit of olive oil in here. Make sure you've got enough to cover. Oops, why is it telling me there's an error? Doesn't like my pan today. Everything's going crazy, right? Let's try this again. Operator error. Okay, so we're gonna get our oil going, and if it's gonna be difficult, I'm leaving town. Oh, that's why. Can you guys see the burner from there? No, I just turned on the wrong burner, that's all. It was operator error, but I'm gonna turn this one off. Oh my goodness. I think the freezing affected my brain. Sorry, guys. Okay, don't laugh at my botched mouth. Okay, so here we're gonna go. So the chicken that I'm using today is actually bone-in chicken thighs. Remember I told you guys I wanted to save you a lot of money, and the easiest way to do that is shop the grocery flyer. Prices of groceries are going through the roof. So what we're gonna do is we're going to do, we're gonna start it on a skillet on the stove. Now here's the deal, please remember this. If your skillet has a handle that melts, this is going to be a two-step process for you. So my skillet can actually go into the oven. Not a problem, right? But like I said, if it does, I'll try to remember what point you need to transfer it into a baking pan to go in your oven. Set your oven for 325 degrees, and we're going to do the second part there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our chicken, we're gonna get the oil hot, and the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure that we put our chicken skin side down, okay? Why are we doing it skin side down? Well, do you guys like crispy skin, where it's nice and brown and crispy? Yeah, that's why we're doing it. So I'm getting a nice, good hot heat on this. You can probably hear it sizzling a bit. Can you hear it popping? Okay. And we're going to let that go. Now, you always add salt and pepper. I'm using SPG. Hey, Audrey. Hey, Chantel. Nice to see you, Jill. Just put a little bit of SPG on there. Salt, pepper, garlic, SPG. Yeah, everything's shortened when you use Epicure. Okay, so fun food facts about this dish. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be frying up the chicken, but we're going to be making a sauce with cranberries because happy Thanksgiving. Yes, our American counterparts on the other side of the border are probably having a Thanksgiving dinner right now, probably with cranberry sauce. Instead, we're going to use actual cranberries in our dish. Before we do that, though, I want to talk to you about balsamic vinegar. Now, yeah, there's many different balsamic vinegars. This balsamic vinegar is very, very expensive. I think I hide it so my family doesn't use it all. But this balsamic vinegar cost me, I think, $400 for this little bottle. Hence, look at the nice fancy packaging. It's even labeled. Now, balsamic vinegar is basically made from musk of grapes, and they actually keep the skins on, and they throw the stems in, and they put it in barrels, and the evaporation process happens, and it literally takes years, which is why that's so expensive. That little bottle took 25 years to make. Okay, now you can get balsamic vinegar in the store. It does say balsamic vinegar from Modena, and just so you know, Modena and Reggio Emilia are the only areas in Italy that are protected because that is where the original balsamic vinegar comes from. That's where this nice one came from on my tours to Italy, okay? When you buy it at the store, they can call it balsamic vinegar as long as it's got balsamic vinegar from Modena in there. I think it's like 6 or 10% of this bottle is that. The rest, what do? They put in wine vinegar. Still tastes good. But this is a really good one for standard cooking, okay? So, did you learn something new? Okay, we're not quite done yet. Okay, so let's go back to the cranberries. Let me talk to you a little bit about that. So cranberries, now, I don't know if you've seen commercials, but a lot of times you see commercials and they show how cranberries are floating on water. They don't actually grow in a lake. They actually grow alongside a lake or a sandy bog, little marshes, and they're really low bushes, and they've got little trails of these. Now, when they do commercial harvesting of this, they usually have a pre-made marsh that they can actually flood. And why do they flood it? It becomes very easy for them to harvest because these little babies actually bounce and float. So by filling it with water, what do these things do? Well, they pop right up to the top. So that's really cool. So that's how they harvest. Now, only 5% of cranberries are in the raw form like you see it here, where you can make your own cranberry sauce. The rest is usually cranberry juice, cranberry sauce, right? So that's interesting. Now, I do want to let you know that this is considered the unofficial fruit of Thanksgiving. Yeah, it's considered a fruit, and there's actually 80 million pounds of berries that are eaten right around the 7 days around Thanksgiving, and that's in the USA. Hey, Chantel. So that's really neat. And just so you know, when you're buying a can of prepared cranberry sauce, there's roughly about 200 of these berries in there to make that. Another fun food fact is that Wisconsin actually is the capital of cranberry production. So, cool. All right, so we've got our chicken. I think you can see that it's crispy. Now, I like it nice and crispy here. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to transfer it into a bowl. This is our 4-cup prep bowl. Now you'll notice it's not cooked all the way through because we're going to be baking the rest in the oven. I just don't want this drying out. But I definitely want to make sure it's got a nice crispy skin. Okay? Look good? Perfect. Okay, so now what we're going to do here is we are going to start adding our cranberries. So everything's better with a little bit of butter. So we're going to put a little bit of butter to the same pan, right? You don't want to have to clean a whole bunch of dishes. Turn this down a little bit. There we go. We're going to add our washed cranberries. And we're going to start adding some flavors in here. So what's really nice with Epicure is I love that they have these jars of pre-made spices, so you're not having to have a whole bunch of spices in your cupboard going a little stale. So this is one that I'm going to be using today. Rosemary and garlic will be perfect with cranberries. Can you see these little babies are exploding and already getting a little soft? So what we're going to do here, we're going to use our 4-in-1 spoon. And I'm just going to put some of this in here. Well, I'm using my apron. Buy an apron when you're making this recipe. Here's my good tip for the day. Of course, I'm wearing white. So between my lip and my top, I'm going to look like an absolute disaster today. This reminds me of when I saw someone I actually went to a cooking class where they cooked grapes. I should make that recipe. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, next, we're going to add a little bit of minced garlic. This is a pantry staple. Rather than having garlic that's taking room up in your fridge, just keep this on hand. Half a teaspoon is the equivalent of 1 full clove. Excuse me. Okay, now, I want to tell you, cranberries are also known as that little bitter berry. So you can imagine right now I've got rosemary, garlic, salt and pepper, nothing really sweet in there. So we need to sweeten it up, and this is where the balsamic vinegar is going to come in. So with our prep bowls, these come in sets of 4. They're called the Prep Pro bowls. They actually have measuring graduations stamped right into the glass. And what we're going to do is we're going to add some of our balsamic vinegar, not the expensive stuff. Oh my gosh, this meal would probably cost me, I don't know, for the amount I'm using, probably cost me $100. So that's special. That's when I just have a little bit of real vanilla ice cream, maybe some sliced strawberries on top, and I just drizzle a little bit of that really expensive balsamic on it. Okay. So balsamic is a little sweet, right? But hang on. It's Thanksgiving in USA. Let's get some real maple syrup from Canada. Let's put a Canadian flair in it. So I'm using my 4-in-1 spoon again. Love this spoon because as you saw, I'm not scrambling to look for another measuring spoon. I've got it all in one. I'm just going to put some of this inside here. Beautiful. So I do want to let you know, hello, the utensils are back. Yes, if you're looking for amazing cooking utensils, they're back. So make sure you check those out. With COVID, it's been a bit of a challenge. Of course, there's more people cooking at home. And of course, if you hate cooking at home, you love Epicure because we just make it so darn easy. Okay, so I've cooked this down. I am going to try to taste it. I hope I'm not going to make a little bit of a mess here. This is super, super hot. Oh my goodness. My husband's going to love me tonight. He always does anyway. Okay, so here's our crispy chicken. Now, this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that the crispy part that's already been cooked is going to be set right on top. Okay? And we're going to put it in the oven. Now this would be the point if you do not have a skillet that can go into the oven, you would instead pour your sauce into a baking pan, put your chicken on top, and then what you're going to do, if you have it handy, you can doctor it up a bit. Let me show you what I'm going to doctor mine up with. This, of course, we've got lots of flooding in the not in the Okanagan, in BC. Produce is quite scant, but oranges and apples are here. So I grabbed an orange. Now, I am going to be using my zester, but you're going to want to find an orange that's a little bit smaller. I'm using our ceramic knife. This has a nice sheath that protects the blade so it stays sharp for a long time. I'm going to take our citrus press, just going to squeeze this in, and give it just a little squirt of orange juice. Now, the other thing that I'm going to do with this is if you have a zester, zest a little orange on there. That really, really just makes it look super, super nice. So you know, people eat with their eyes anyway, right? So we squeeze, put a little bit of orange zest on there. We're gonna make people love this meal before they've even bitten into it. Okay, so we've got a little bit of orange in there, some maple sauce, some rosemary. Now, I ran outside. I actually grow herbs outside. We're right down to the end of the season, but if you do happen to have any rosemary or thyme or sage, you may want to just throw some of these on there. Actually, I'm gonna break this up a bit. I'm down to the last little bits, but all these, rosemary, thyme, sage, are all really, really good seasonings that go so well with chicken and turkey and things like that. And what we're gonna do now is we're literally just going to throw this in the oven and cook it now for about, I'm gonna say 18 to 25 minutes. Just make sure your chicken's all cooked. When it's done, and I will be posting a picture of the final product, when it's done, great to serve this over top of wild rice. Quickly show you how to do that, save you a ton of time. I'm gonna just get this out of my way. Let me put it in my oven. Okay, so that's in my oven. When you are getting that ready and it's in the oven, what you can do in the time that it's baking, you can be making wild rice or regular rice in your steamer. So this is our multi-purpose steamer. Get your wild rice. I think wild rice and cranberries, just because it's really rustic with the thighs, is going to be absolutely amazing. You're going to use your prep bowl. Make sure your rice is washed off nicely. It's double with wild rice, it's double the water. So simply just pour that water in. Put a lid on this, and you're going to transfer it right to the microwave. Normally, when you do wild rice on a stove, it's going to take you probably about 45 to 55 minutes to cook. With the steamer, you can do it in about half the time. It's going to take you about 22 to 24, 25 minutes, depending on how strong your microwave is. So, guys, that is it for my cooking class. If you have any questions, just post them below. Remember, I do want to give you one more caution about balsamic vinegar. Read your labels, because there's a lot of vinegars, they call them balsamic vinegars, they're total imposters. They have no balsamic in them. Read the label. This one actually says contains must from Modena, and it has wine vinegar, and that's it. Some actually are malt vinegar with brown sugar. It's just, there's not an ounce, not even a lick of balsamic vinegar. So if you're looking for a good balsamic vinegar, read your labels. I hope you enjoyed today's cooking class. I'm thinking next time I might do something with pomegranates, because hey, it's the season. So come back and join me again. I sometimes do it on my personal page, sometimes my business page, but I also have a VIP page. So if you love my cooking classes and want to stay connected because you're thinking you might want to be a customer, or you're a customer already, I'd love to have you join my group. Anyway, take care, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. Hey, just because it's happening in the USA, it doesn't mean we can't celebrate. I know I'm going to have a meal that's sort of Thanksgiving-ish. Take care, everyone. Next time I come, my lip won't be so puffy. Bye for now.